Hey everyone, once again this is Sean from keyofgreydotcom, and I just wanted to share with you a little tip that I came up with, and I'm sure a lot of you know, but for some of you who are using djay software with the Vestax Spin or just djay by itself, you'll know that djay pulls your iTunes library. Now for me, I'm pretty OCD and I like to have everything well organized, so as you can see in my library I have very few genres, or the artist names are cleaned up quite a bit, and everything looks nice. What I've noticed when I've been getting DJ mixes, it's mostly, instead of like I have in this iTunes library, which is more album organized, DJ music that you're using they're all singles, and a lot of the names are ugly, and I just kind of didn't want to have a million sort of files that are sort of messing up my normal iTunes library. So what I found out was that iTunes actually allows you to have two libraries, and what you can do is create a new library that doesn't have any of the music of your old library, and add only the stuff for your DJing set in there, so you kind of have a streamlined way of viewing your music. So let me show you how that works. So let me close iTunes here. So this is my normal library, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch iTunes, but as I launch iTunes, I'm going to press and hold down the Option key, and that's going to ask me if I want to start a new library or choose another library. So let me just do that for you right now. So right now I'm pressing down Option, and as you can see, it's giving me the option to choose my library. So if I didn't have one already created, I created one yesterday, going over using the same sort of tips that I'm showing you right now, but you could create your own library and it would be totally blank. You don't lose any of your other music, it just creates another library. So let me click choose library. You can see what I did. So you can see here that this would be my normal iTunes library, the one that you saw before, and this is the one that I've named iTunes DJ for my tracks that I want to use for DJing specifically. So let me open this up. And so far I've only imported my electro tracks. You can see there's quite a few. You can see they're really ugly. The names are kind of ugly, but what they are, even though the names are ugly, they're very specific. So they'll let me find what I need right away. So one of the inverse benefits of keeping all of these DJ singles out of my normal iTunes library is also that I don't have any of the other stuff in my other library that I don't want in my DJing iTunes library. So what that means is that I have an iTunes library that is streamlined to only the songs that I'm probably going to use in that set. So if you wanted to go overboard, you could create multiple iTunes libraries, one for each genre or specific sort of job that you are going to DJ. So for instance, you might have a top 40 iTunes library, you might have a house party one, you might have a down tempo one. I'm not going to go that crazy. I'm just going to have one DJ one and one, my normal one. But one thing I did want to show you is that you can. One of the things you'll want to do, I should say, is that you will want to make sure that iTunes isn't managing where it's putting your files. And the reason for this is because you would be, with this setup the way it is, you don't want to duplicate the amount of music that you have stored. You don't want to waste all that hard drive space. So what you want to do is sort of share the database file that says where all these files are for each library, but you don't want to actually have separate files that are exactly the same between both the libraries. So let me show you what I mean. So when you click your iTunes and Preferences, under the Advanced tab, you can see I don't have Keep iTunes Media Folder Organized, and I don't have Copy Files to iTunes Media Folder when adding to library. So what that allows me to do is sort of manage my own directory structure. So I can have my own directory on my hard drive that has only my DJ singles, and then what I can do is, if say I have stuff in my other iTunes library that I want to bring into this library, but I don't want to duplicate the files, I can just sort of drag them in here and they'll show up in this iTunes library, but keep the original file where it was. So that allows me to have basically two libraries, but only have one file, so I don't have to waste that, or I don't have to have separate hard drives or different sets or whatever like that. So that's something you'll want to keep in mind. So you're probably wondering right now how djay knows which iTunes library you actually want to use and whether or not you can switch that in djay. Well, actually what happens is that DJ will choose whatever the default library you have is open at that time. So if the last time you closed iTunes, for instance, the last time I closed iTunes, I was open in this iTunes DJ. So let me just do that right now. If I launch DJ, which is right over here, it'll actually open up the iTunes DJ one. But if I had been switched to my other library, it would automatically open that by default. And I can't switch within DJ right now. For instance, I couldn't go in DJ and switch to my normal iTunes library to play that playlist or any of the music in that library. So DJ, you need to make sure that you have iTunes loaded to the correct library that you want before you launch DJ, so it knows which library or you could choose the library that you want. So let me just close this and let me just show you that quickly then. So I'm opening up iTunes, pressing Option. When it goes, I want to choose the library. I'm choosing my default library. Click Open. It's going to open the library with all my other music. And if I open DJ, you'll be able to see that the playlist has changed once it launches here. Yeah, so you have some of my other music in here. So that's about it. I just wanted to show you that little tip. It's helping me out quite a bit to make sure that I am able to find the music I need quickly. I don't have to comb through all the tons of music I have in my normal library when I want to go to my DJ set. So I hope it helps you out as well. If you have any questions, as you guys have been doing already, just hit me up in the YouTube comments, okay? And I'll just leave you with some DJ Nozawa while I load us out of here.
New York City.